Hi folks, it's Evo here from Thundermist Lure Company. It is great to see you and welcome to today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. I've got Rick with me, I've got Phil with me, and the boatless angler, he stopped along the way. He's trying a hole along the way. We're out here fishing in Cook's Bay, Lake Simcoe. It's February 1st. Tomorrow is actually Super Bowl Sunday actually. And we finally got out on the ice this year. It's been a warm, last weekend it actually rained. So we're glad to be out here on the ice. And we're looking for perch today. Now I haven't been out in Lake Simcoe in probably 2 or 3 years. And the reason is out in Cook's Bay anyhow, I seem to always catch a lot of smaller fish. Always come home with enough for a feed, but there seems to be just so many smaller fish that you have to weed through before you get to the bigger fish. So we're gonna see today if we can get into some. Now, smaller fish, they're all keepers. Here in Ontario, just so you know, there's no size limit. There's only a quantity limit. Oh, there we go. But mind you, it's nice to keep the bigger fish because you've got to clean these fish and let the smaller ones grow up. So let's see what this year brings. And already I'm using the 3/16 ounce Stingnose Jigging Spoon. I'm not tipping it with anything. I'm just dropping it down plain, just like that. And I can see already the first fish of the day is a small one. So first drop, didn't take long. And that was the thing here fishing before. To catch a lot of fish relatively quickly. So if you want to bring someone out and have some fun, for sure you're going to catch a ton of fish. My line's freezing up on me already. The problem is there's going to be a lot of smaller ones. But you will have a lot of fun with fish. So we're going to see if we can get into some bigger fish today and at least get at least a dozen to bring home for a meal. We'll see where the boatless angler, he's making his way out here now, so he obviously didn't do too well in that shallower water. I don't know how deep it is here, but Antonio's got he's got a sonar unit, so we could check his sonar unit and see exactly how deep we're fishing. But it's got to be, oh, there's another one. It's got to be at least 20 feet deep. Now that's the other thing. We brought a hut, but we decided not to set it up because it's only -3 degrees. Look, there's another small fish. It's only -3, and Rick's got you got one too, Rick?
Yeah, another small one. I've had a couple now, they're tiny.
A small one, right? Yeah. That's the problem. So what we're gonna do, we might try here for a little bit more, and then maybe move over, go to the left, go east, go north, go south, try different waters. That's the beauty of not having the hut. And speaking of huts, if you want to make a trip to Lake Simcoe, there are a lot of hut operators out here. And you could easily rent a hut and fish in a nice, warm, comfortable hut. I would suggest just doing a Google search, and you'll see there's all kinds of hut operators out here. You could find one for sure, and they'll look after you. They're actually really good, the hut operators here on Lake Simcoe. A lot of friendly people. And they look after you and make sure they put you on the fish. So that's an option for you if you like to come out, especially if you want to bring some youngsters out and fish in warm and comfort. That's the way to do it. Okay, so we're going to keep jigging and see if we can get into at least a bigger fish or two. So glad you could join us. Okay, there we go. You can tell when you get a bigger fish. Oh yeah, there we go. We finally got ourselves our first keeper. We got ourselves a first keeper. Okay, and I switched up to the gold, and I got to tell you what else we did. This is now, camera's been off for about 4 hours at least. So we have been all over this lake. We went all the way out to 45 feet of water. We went out to the other side of, there's a major break out there. There's a crack and a major break, pressure crack. We went all the way to the pressure crack. We tried 45 feet of water. We tried 40 feet of water. We tried 30, 35 feet. And here we are in about 10, 12 feet. Well, he's, I will put that one back. He wasn't too bad, but compared to, honestly folks, compared to what we've been catching all day today, if I caught 100 fish today, would be probably not an exaggeration. Probably all of us caught 100 fish today. It was unbelievable, but they were all well, you've seen what we started off with. They were all just tiny fish, just so small. So these ones seem to be a little bit bigger. I mean, that one is, when I say keeper, is barely a keeper, and we did manage to catch 3 or 4 other keepers today, but it took us all day to get them out in that deeper water. But now in this shallower water, we just started here. I just literally got here. That was the first drop down, and right away we got into a bit of a bigger fish. So I think oh, now we're back to normal again. Okay, maybe that was just short-lived, but the thing is here, it's very possible that those bigger fish might be hugging the shoreline a little bit tighter to the shoreline. I mean, look, we're not far from shore right now. So, you know, we did all that walking all day long today, and all we had to do was just come close to the shoreline and fish this shallower water. So, but I did put I switched to the gold because it has been cloudy all day and it's been darker. So as you know, I like the gold under those conditions. But you know, who knows now? Maybe here. And honestly, we were thinking of just calling it a day because we caught so many fish, but so many small fish. But we decided to try this real shallow water before we made it back to our vehicles, and maybe we'll be able to pick up a few more fish here and have ourselves a fish fry. Okay, this guy's going left, he's going right. Oh, there we go. There's another nice chunk right there. Beautiful, beautiful perch. Look at that. That's a beauty. Okay, so what's happening too? In this shallower water, we gotta be a little bit quieter. It's not like when we were fishing out there earlier today in 40 feet of water. When you're fishing shallow water, the noise you make on the ice, they can definitely hear below the ice. And if you've got those bigger fish and they're hanging around, you'll spook them. So one thing I like to do when I'm fishing in shallow water is be very, very quiet. No shuffling around with pails on the ice surface, and trying to keep the walking around here to a very minimum if I can. Okay, see if we can get into another fish. There's another. So they seem to be coming in droves. Again, that's not a big one by any means, but again, compared to what we were doing earlier. So what's happening now, I think you get the odd big one swimming around, and when you get one, you seem to be getting more, because I got 3 there just before the cameraman came, all about that size. Let's see if I can get another one here, because they seem to be traveling in schools. And that's a smaller fish. It's like a smaller fish. Oh boy. Okay. Usually the schools seem to be the same size. Let's see if I can get myself another keeper.
What do you think, Evo? Put that one in the pail?
It looks like a beauty.
Yeah. 3/16 ounce Stingnose. He hit it hard. Yeah, he swallowed it. Gonna need pliers.
Yeah, I saw that, Rick.
Another.
I saw that hook set.
Had quite a run now in the last hour.
Let me see that one. That's another nice perch. Look at the colors on them. Isn't that nice? They got that nice little orange there, Rick.
Yeah.
See that?
Good looking fish.
So you're getting what? 4 or 5 small ones and you get a big one?
Yeah.
Is that the ticket?
That's about it.
Okay.
3 or 4 to 1.
Okay.
It was like 100 to nothing earlier today.
Well, you can pull in the pail with the other guys and keep the other ones company.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. Just moments after Rick got into his nice fish, guess what? Oh yeah. Oh, I got a nice one too. He's got a mouthful of Stingnose right there. These are nice, better fish. Look at the nice colors on these fish too. Just gorgeous, gorgeous perch. Nice fish. And he inhaled it. Rick, you said yours really inhaled yours too, eh?
Oh yeah.
So there seemed to be, so that was what? A few minutes ago Rick got his. Phil, you had a couple bites.
Yeah.
And now I got these fish here. It's just like they're coming around, they're coming in in kind of little schools and it's just swimming around, and it's hit and miss. So when they come around, you get the hit, then you got to pause and wait a bit for them to come back around. But it looks like this shallower water is the ticket. Now, Antonio started here. If you take a look down there, you see that one guy all the way down there by himself, leaning over? He's catching fish down there. Oh, he's catching fish, and he's in about probably, I'm gonna say, 5 feet of water. And we've been catching a mixed bag here in this particular spot. So yeah, we're getting smaller fish like this, but we are also getting these nicer, more jumbo perch in between at a much better frequency than we were getting all day earlier today. Now, mind you, we've had a phenomenal day today. This is a good fish. This is a good fish. Wow, he's fighting. Like, he's fighting. Look at that. He wasn't even that big. I mean, that's a smaller perch. I mean, you know, people do keep them this big, and you can keep them this big. They're just harder to fillet. But it's a small, you know, that's a smaller perch, right? We'll just put him right back in. But he was strong. Like, he gave me a good little battle. But that's what it's been like all day. But with smaller fish like that and smaller, and just having a ball with these fish. We walked around all day today. We tried different spots. We got a lot of fresh air. We got a lot of fishing in. We caught a ton of fish. Had a nice lunch, like having a picnic lunch on the ice, and we've caught a lot of fish all day long. It looks like we're getting a little bit nicer fish now, which is fine, because all we want is we've got at least a dozen and a half right now, keepers, to take home, and that's enough for a little fish fry. But we are going to stay a little while longer and fish this shallow water. Antonio's hanging out in 5 feet. We're out in here in 10 feet. And we're just having ourselves a nice day. If you get an opportunity, fresh air, exercise, and it's a great way to spend a winter day. Folks, I want to thank you ever so much for joining us on today's episode of Thundermist Fishing Tips. And as always, until next time, good luck.